How long do microscopic droplets containing SARS-CoV-2 remain in the air?
I touched on this question once a few weeks ago, but it's time to answer it again as we now have more data on whether or not SARS-CoV-2 might be what's often called airborne. We know the virus is transmitted by larger droplets that come out when you sneeze or cough, but what about the tiny droplets called aerosols that you emit all the time when you speak? Could they also transmit the infection? A new study indicates that they might. Using extremely sensitive lasers, the researchers tracked aerosols emitted by test subjects speaking and detected at least 1,000 tiny droplets a minute that, if those people had been infected, could possibly have contained virus. And those droplets remained floating in the air for 8 to 14 minutes. We don't know how many viruses it takes to make someone sick, but the work says, at least in enclosed spaces, probabilities are high that infected people could transmit the virus simply by speaking loud. The testing was done in the lab, of course, and not under real-world air circulation conditions, so there are some caveats, but this study, I think, is likely to have an impact on health policy.
How long does the virus last on your clothes?
A well-known study from last March found the coronavirus was detectable for up to 24 hours on cardboard, which in terms of its absorbent qualities is similar to many types of textiles. Most experts I read are therefore taking 24 hours as a ballpark figure for clothing as well. But before you start stuffing your entire wardrobe in the washing machine, you should know those tests were done with pretty high virus concentrations in the lab. In the real world, you're unlikely to be exposed to those kinds of levels. So in general, the experts say you shouldn't worry too much about your clothing providing a path for infection.
Could COVID-19 be linked to the collection of bat guano used as fertilizer?
I love this question because it took me by surprise. I'd never thought about it as a possibility. Bat guano, the animal's dried feces, is widely used as a fertilizer in Asia and other parts of the world, and it's also an ingredient in some traditional Chinese medicines. And large-scale studies in the past have isolated hundreds of different coronaviruses from bat droppings. So could the first infections in this pandemic possibly be linked to the guano trade? Doesn't seem like a completely unreasonable speculation to me, but there's no clear evidence for it. And without that, it's just one speculation among many.